Ladies and gentlemen, I've got the one and only Ihsahn here. Good that you're here.
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being here. It's an honor. That is Ihsahn, a well-known guitarist, singer, songwriter. You played, or you are playing with Emperor, yeah, and you are doing your solo stuff right now, and that is the new album. And there are two versions of it.
One is the just orchestra, and one is orchestra
and metal.
Yeah,
both of it, which is better. Yeah, and this is his 9-string guitar.
I'll tell you a funny story, because once I was the first album I mixed with Jens Bogren at Fascination Studios. You know, metal fans will know him from his work with, you know, Opus or Creator, or he's, you know, one of the big producers, mixing engineers. And I thought, okay, I'll go over there and I'll do like behind the scenes footage. I set up some cameras and everything, and literally I posted it, and it looks like a still photo, because it's me in the background listening still, and it's him in front. The only thing you can see moving is his hand on the mouse while he's tweaking, you know, the parameters of the mix, and you hear the sound, and it's just two of us like dead serious, and there's hardly no movement. That's how exciting, you know, people assume, and you see behind the scenes from, you know, rap recordings, and there's everybody like it's going wild and dancing and everything, and this kind of music is just like
I totally get it, but life is life. Being part on that maybe decisions could be interesting, or put your amplifiers out in the woods and crank it up to 11 and being loud. That could be nice too.
I've done that too.
Really?
As a kid, I've told that story, because of course I didn't, when I started playing that early, of course I had my small amp, but I didn't have any effects. You know, of course it was like very, very pure and old school. But of course I heard reverberation and delays on records and everything. So since I lived on a farm, it was close to the water side, and there were mountains on the other side. I literally took my guitar out, you know, on the veranda outside the house, and I played it as loud as I could.
Facing to the mountains,
and I got the delay back.
Which is cool.
That's the most analog, old school delay you can have.
Are there neighbors or some?
No, but my grandparents lived like probably like half a kilometer away, and they would often call to our house. They turn it down.
And one question from me, I mean, you are stick to black metal. Is that I can say that you?
Yeah, so some people would argue probably that it wasn't, because they have a different perception of what it is.
Yeah, I
for
don't
me,
have an idea.
I scream. I do those type of vocals. I try to conjure up, you know, an atmosphere that I associate with the genre, so I feel very comfortable with that term.
Yeah,
you know, to me, doesn't really matter.
Okay.
You know, it's
which is nice.
I'm a huge fan of great music, not such a big fan of bad music, and then of course that's all very subjective.
That is cool. That means you're feeling well with all kinds of genres as well. I mean, you have your favorite part, which is obvious, but if the music is quite okay or good, then you can say, yeah, it's even hip hop, it's good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, cool.
On my previous full-length release, I even had like 808s and stuff in there.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Because not because
drum machine,
because not because that, you know, I'm not kind of learning anything from the genre and the aesthetics of it, but it's just like the sound textures.
Yeah,
I'm kind of obsessed over some stuff like that.
Okay. A whole different point of view. Yeah. Okay, I see.
So it's like you listen to other styles of music, and you kind of discover like sonic colors.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this would be interesting to implement, you know, in my music, you know, to have a go.
And how did it work?
I think it worked out great. Yeah.
Cool.
It's heavy stuff, you know, and people, you know, say this all the time, like, oh, you know, orchestral music and metal music, how can it be combined? It's such, because people view it culturally, like classical music or orchestral music is something like intellectualized, highbrow thing, and metalheads are only people being drunk with, you know, Viking helmets at Wacken.
Totally wrong, yeah.
But if you listen to the, you know, beneath the actual instrumentation, I think a lot of the time, metal music in general is usually, you know, a minor expression. It's heavy. It deals with big existential stuff. It's like you know, big dark atmospheres. Yeah. And if you listen to, you know, Beethoven's Fifth or anything, or all the soundtracks we grew up on, you know, John Williams, Imperial March, all this, you know, we're trying to achieve the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just different instruments, and but we're all dealing with. I was at this exhibition yesterday.
Yeah.
It goes was kind of honed in on how we celebrate.
Yeah, it was about partying, I think. Yeah,
about partying, but since the antique. You know, like the Greeks and the Romans.
Which is interesting, yeah.
Yeah, but also, and you know, the Dionysus rituals and everything. And then it was kind of, they drew the line through history up until, you know, Wacken, and how people come together for this kind of extravagant experience of music and theater and show.
Sure.
So we like to think that we evolve, you know, on some levels and with the technology and stuff, but the existential core elements are still the same.
That's totally right. Therefore, I like music so much because it's all about emotions and feelings.
It's the stuff that we don't have words for, but we still have a need to communicate.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's part of an evolution as well. I remember when I was growing up, you know, the identity, you know, being a metal fan was like, I was a huge Iron Maiden fan. You know, I had long hair, and I had this denim jacket with all, you know, it was all Iron Maiden patches.
Nice.
And you know, you kind of wore your musical taste, and it became such a big part of your identity, and like a formative thing. Yeah. So you kind of had to kind of single out this thing, and you were very proud of your favorite band, your genre. You defended the genre, and it became kind of your position in your environment.
Totally get it, yeah.
And which I think was important, that kind of exclusion of everything else. But then, of course, when you become more sure of yourself in that role as an individual, you know, then you can kind of add on and, of course, open up. So it's not like, so perhaps younger fans will still have that need to single it out.
Yeah, when you are grown up, then you are more confident to say, yo, no, I like that too. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, of course.
I never really had a problem with that. I've always been very consumed with music as a whole.
I would say power metal is a combination of orchestral music and metal, isn't it? I don't know.
I know there's power metal that also implement orchestral elements, but usually, you know, the orchestra instruments or guitars or anything, they're just, you know, colors. You know, a composition is a composition. You know, a genre is often defined by what kind of instruments you use.
Related to your guitar from Digger MC, how is it to play a 9-string? I struggle as a bass player with a normal 6-string guitar.
Well, I'll be honest. When Aristide sent me this, I my good friend there, Pascal.
Yeah.
He wanted me to try it out, and I was literally blown away by how easily it was to adapt to this. But then again, I have been playing, you know, 6, 7 and 8-string guitars for a long time. Yeah. So the gap wasn't that big, but I told him I probably won't be writing any full albums with a 9-string, because it's really complex in its own way, but also it's a matter of actually bringing even on one more guitar on the road. You know? I have quite a lot of guitars that have to come with me because my set list is divided between everything. But literally, you could play most of it on, because
could you give us an example of it, maybe? Because
of course, I mean, for those who don't know, it's tuned in standard tuning. Yeah. So literally, for those who don't are too familiar, like the bottom 6 strings are just like a normal 6-string guitar. You know, the B.
Okay.
And and the C.
So is a track on this album which you would like to play pure only the guitar? Is there something, or just a riff or something?
Well, arguably, it's just one of these songs that's actually written for an 8-string guitar, and the rest are actually for a 6-string setup in drop C. Yeah. So it would be the wrong tuning, but let's see. I could do like a riff from Pilgrimage to Oblivion. It was the first single off of this. And so on.
Crazy. So cool. So cool.
But this is more typical stuff, but then it's because I just try to steer away from traditional harmony for this album, and doing a lot of these octatonic scales. Like, but it's like voicings like this.
Really strange emotions going through my mind then. Yeah, really strange.
How
should I feel? Tell me. How should I feel about that?
No, I can't tell you how to feel. but literally, I made life hard for myself, because as a guitar player, I'm sure as any instrumentalist, there's a lot of muscle memory involved.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a downside when you're writing, because you always feel like you're repeating yourself. But when you do the opposite, like I've done with this, not really written any of the music on the guitar. You know, I just apply it to the guitar later on. I end up in a situation where I have to, play this shit and sing it live, at the same time. And when you
really
have, then you have no help of the muscle memory of, the finger movements and everything, and it's all this,
That's so damn fast. That was insane. So the chat is really, really happy about seeing you playing your guitar. That is really cool. Yeah.
Right. Now it's a bit of sloppy playing this early in the morning.
No. But if we are jamming together, my skill is only very very low.
This song is a blast beat thing with the 206 BPM.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty fast.
But Manuel told me that you like to play other tracks as well. So he said you played. I don't know if it's right, but he said that you played. What was it? Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah. I did a cover.
Yeah.
Of
which one?
Rock and Roll Is Dead.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
it's a great riff.
So cool. Yeah, you don't need a bass. You are such a timekeeper, such a machine. It's really cool.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Such a cool guy, Ihsahn here. I like the sound so much. And yeah, we have time for a few more questions. And if the chat don't ask questions, I'm doing it on my own and I have bullshit questions in mind. And no, there's one. How many guitars did you shred into pieces in your career? Can you say that?
None.
None, because you're a guitar lover.
Yes. I love guitars. I thought it was heartbreaking because as a young guitar player, of course, I only had this, knockoff Stratocaster cheap guitar, and I vividly remember it was a Vinnie Vincent, previously Kiss, a music video on television, and he had this beautiful V guitar, custom thing, and at the end of the video in slow motion he crushed the guitar and he crushed 4 double stacks of Marshalls, and I was thinking, if you were not going to use them anyway, why couldn't you give them to me? Because I
had the same in mind with drums, really.
Yeah. So it seemed such a waste, and of course I was too young to realize that of course they wouldn't break the real guitars. They had these cheap knockoffs that they were doing for show.
They made us believe.
They made us believe, and it was all show, but it was heartbreaking.
That's like killing a friend. Yeah.
I haven't really even sold many of my big guitars. But that first knockoff guitar, I still have it.
Okay.
So I really just sold one guitar, 2 guitars in the past that I've sold, and one I got to there's a Norwegian museum of rock music. So they have this room, like a black metal room with.
That's like charity.
Yes, not like, but it's. But I probably have too many guitars, more guitars than I need. But
may I ask how many guitars you have? You own?
I tell my kids it's less than 30, but I'm not sure if it's true. but honestly, it's compared to some of my colleagues, I know it's not that much.
Okay, everything is okay. Don't worry. So we have questions here. I don't know. I've not read them before, but I will read them out. How do you describe your current music in style? Is it modern black metal? Sounds very progressive with black metal elements to me, and can hear some Opeth and Porcupine Tree, etc.
Well, I mean, defining it, I always feel that it's someone else's. I just do the music I do.
Yeah.
You know, and then if people, you know, the labeling of music is just like a guideline for people to find it, in a sense. But if people, you know, I'm friends with Opeth, you know, a big fan of their music too, and if there are any comparison, you know, like people associate, I take that as a compliment because I'm a fan. You know, Porcupine Tree as well, you know, brilliant. Steven Wilson, extremely varied and talented in so many ways, and I'm not sure if it's you know, if the music translates, people make all kinds of associations, and sometimes I hear your influences for this and this, and it's like artists I've never heard of. So you know, that's
the best. That's the best.
Yeah, but it's not saying that it's wrong, because it's not like I'm reinventing the wheel here. So we're all playing with the same. No, so we're all playing with the same sounds, and if people, you know, make positive associations with it, it's all the better.
That's good. Okay. What would you advise someone who wants to start doing black metal? I don't know if it's a proper question, but it seems that there are viewers here who would like to start doing some black metal music, and maybe there are some advice. I don't know.
Well, of course, being in my position, you know, having been fortunate to, you know, this became my living. Of course, I've been getting this kind of question before from younger bands and artists who want to, you know, what's the right thing to do? And I would have no idea, because I've been doing literally everything wrong. In considering I started out, you know, the beginning of my career, I was playing the most hated, obnoxious music possible.
Oh yeah.
And people don't realize that my early, like the first Emperor albums, that now, you know, are by some seen as like these some kind of formative, important albums. They were hated in the beginning. So the only advice I could give is that, like I've been giving to students or young musicians that I've met, is that you have to do it for your love of music, and you make something so genuine to you. You cannot never have, you know, an audience in mind when you create, because you want to. An audience, especially for this kind of music, wants something that is genuine and real, and you can only do that if you don't compromise and try to make something like McDonald's, you know, trying to suit. And as I said, if you do, you know, the music that you love to the best of your ability from the heart, and it's genuine, maybe you get so good at it that someone else takes pleasure and find your product meaningful. That is a bonus. But if that never happens, no one can take away your relationship to that music and what you put into it and that experience. So it has to be in that order. And I think the industry as a whole is so full of people of telling you what's the right thing to do, and you have to be on these social media channels, and you have to do this, and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, so for some people, being on Twitch or to be like very active on social media, it's a part of their personality. And I have friends who are superb at doing that. For me, it would just be awkward, because people would tell that I was not comfortable doing it, and then it's no point, because whether people are conscious about it or unconsciously, they know if it's fake.
Yeah, sure.
You know? Sure. So for this kind of music, it has to be real.
But even that is a good advice for the whole life. Do something you like, do something you love, and you will be good.
Yeah.
Therefore, there's a heart from the viewer who asked this question.
Oh,
that seems it was a quite good answer. You played, which track is it? You have to pronounce it.
Yen Trans Imperium.
Yeah. You added a little guitar play in the end of the second riff, sliding with your right hand while doing some overtones, I guess. How do you do that?
They're talking about this. I'll have to keep my head
sure.
It's just this. It's a very old, traditional. These days, I think Gojira has popularized. Now they call it the Gojira scrape, or at least an iteration. Like,
but you invented it.
No. I picked it up somewhere else.
Yeah.
They do that. Gojira is it. But it's written like. It's an old 80s trick, like probably Eddie Van Halen or something like that. I think I picked it up from Ronnie Lee Tecker from TNT, Norwegian, amazing guitar player.
Yeah.
So just like literally you do this at the same time, and you activate the string.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Like.
Hammer.
And then you just, so, and then you just do the overtones with this hand.
Okay. Got it? Verstanden? Besides of black metal, what is your favorite party track?
Party track?
Yeah.
Probably Scott Walker.
Scott Walker. Okay.
From Scott 1, 2, and 3, and 4.
Okay.
Like 60s crooner. I highly recommend it. It's like Frank Sinatra style crooner voice.
Yeah.
This is from the 60s and 70s.
Cool.
And where there's a production where you have like the band on the left side, a full orchestra on the other side, and a voice down the middle, and it's so beautiful. And it's this juxtaposition of beautiful orchestral lines, as an accompaniment, but oftentimes like dissonant and eerie, and this beautiful baritone crooner voice, but with the darkest, most bizarre lyrics. So it's
best party track.
Yeah, that's my kind of party.
Yeah, I know. Therefore, this is a question in your eyes, of course. So, how much % of your musician's life is organizing versus actually making music? I think that is a good one, because most of the people don't realize how much time you need to spend organizing shit and something like that. Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, I'm very, very bad at organizing, but I'm very fortunate to have people around me who are super kind and efficient and helping me out. And me and my wife, we run this production company together, and she's super organized. So we make it work that way. But of course, this new album that came out now, of course, there's a lot of things after the fact, like getting all the vinyls together, this, making music videos. There's been animation videos for this, preparing single drops. It's a long-term commitment in a sense. So I delivered the masters. I was finished with this album April 1st. And it's coming out today. Yeah. And of course, there's a lot of things like this and doing press, which is, but it needs attention. Sure. So I need to do a lot of that, and there's touring, of course. So I'm very eager to start writing, but I think I would just get depressed at this point, not being able to focus as much as I would. So I've kind of postponed writing till I'm kind of in a space where I can actually, keep the focus.
Totally understand that.
But I'm looking forward now to. I have my first show, presenting this new material in London now in the first weekend of March, and then it's like all through summer. Back to back with doing my solo shows, playing with Emperor. As well?
Are there any dates? Do you know that? We'll find out on your
you'd have to ask my people.
Yeah, sure.
I hope so.
Hopefully, yeah. You're a cool guy. I want to come to your show then.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Really cool.
I hope you can get it. I had dinner with one of the guys from Wacken.
I see,
yesterday. So maybe next year. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I've been coming back to Wacken. Quite regularly since 2006. So I hope to come back there again.
Sure.
It's a great festival.
Leute, Ihsahn, das ist das Album. Holt's euch. Link packe ich. Habt ihr schon im Chat. Da ist schon Link drin. 2 Versionen. Gibt natürlich auch die CD. You're such a nice guy. So cool. I would love that all the people are supporting you in buying this album.
Thank
here.
You. And it's even so modern. It's even on streaming platforms.
Yeah.
and as a fun fact, 2 days ago we did a full listening session. Both of these albums come in full Atmos.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are on Apple Music, bring your AirPods and you can actually listen to the Atmos version of both of these.
That is possible with Apple Music.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know. Of course, that is your duty. We have a Sharpie here.
Okay.
And we have your vinyls, and I think we will play. We will do a raffle afterwards, and therefore, please sign it.
Of course. This will be the first signed copies.
Really?
Of these ever. I've never signed any.
Make a number 1.
Number 1?
Number 1. Yeah. Great. Really cool. Thank you.
That's the first version of this.
The first version here. For the raffle.
Yeah. And this is the first version of the orchestral. Should I do the number one again?
Yeah, please.
You'll have.
We have only number ones here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's black metal.
Yeah, it's black metal.
Gold. Sorry for doing that.
No, it's fine. Gold is fine. I'm fine. Gold and black always go well together.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyone who knows black metal knows that. That's a go-to.
Okay. Really cool.
These are the orchestral ones.
Yeah.
Everything scrabbled and destroyed.
Yep. Yes, please.
I have to give shout out to my long time collaborator for the artwork, Richie Osaris, brilliant Spanish designer.
Yeah, the artwork's cool.
Yeah,
really cool.
It's like, I know it's arty, but it's just like there's so much detail in here that captures the atmosphere of the album.
Yeah, it's really cool.
If you look at the
CD,
no, the orchestral version.
Yeah. Okay.
This is how, if you see the same pictures.
Yeah.
But see, these are without all the blackness.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So this is the mellow. This is the orchestral version with nothing.
Yeah.
And then you see in the artwork of the metal version, it's all these black dots and all the lyrics, and it's nasty and grim.
Really cool.
So it's so the artwork is really mirroring the same as the music. The orchestral version. I'm very proud of that.
It makes sense. It all makes sense now.
It's supposed to. That's the whole thing. I grew up, as I said, on Iron Maiden and these bands where you listen to the album, you saw the front cover, and it made sense.
Yeah,
it went together. It was you felt like it was part of something bigger.
Yeah, sure. And
the pre-singles. They told me, someone told me that after Spotify, the average length of songs have been cut by 45 seconds.
This is too much, I think.
And of course,
no time for the guitar solo.
No time for the guitar solo. So in that respect, doing a dual album like this, long format, conceptual, everything gets together
against the market.
Yeah, I've been doing again everything wrong. That's why I can't give advice.
Okay, I see. Ihsahn, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much
on my show.
Pleasure to meet you.
That was really cool. I wish you all the success you deserve.
Likewise.
Really, yeah. Thank you. And
you seem like you've been doing great already.
I don't know. The chat decide. I don't know, but it's fun to me to have guests like you here and doing what I like. So that is your advice is the same for me.
I think it's applicable to anything. Those of us get to work with the stuff that we're passionate about.
Yeah. And Ihsahn's advice: do everything wrong. Yeah. Perfect. Please check out the album. It's the release date. Celebrate it. Buy it. Such a cool guy. And
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Bye.